What's going on, guys? It's the Bigs Podcast, episode number 105. And today we're going to be at the hot corner and talking about third base rankings. With me tonight, first from Denver, Colorado, Jason Ashby. Jason, how you feeling about the hot corner and these rankings, sir?
Yeah, this is a little bit I think different from the other positions we've done so far, but also the same as it's kind of been the last couple of years, where you have like a group of guys that are safe and you know what you're gonna get with them, and then a whole bunch of guys who you don't really know for sure, but like I don't know, I feel like this is the most I feel like this is like one of the least volatile positions out there. Like everybody's pretty safe. Everybody's pretty okay. You have the guys at the top, but for the most part, it's a pretty safe position, I think.
Yeah, this exploding volcano from last year has just basically turned into a small mudslide that everyone can sort
Exactly.
of navigate on their own now. With us as well tonight, joining us for the first time this season, he is the reigning, defending, undisputed world heavyweight Bigs champion for 2023, and joining the multi-time champion club as a two-time Bigs champion. Mike Haber returning to the show. Mike Haber, how you doing tonight, my friend?
I am doing great. I'm so excited to be back with you guys. I have been stressed out of my mind with school and wedding and internship and grad school. It's just wild. So I'm just so thrilled I can be back here. And we're only like a month away from really like almost getting into baseball season, maybe a month and a
Mhm.
half. I'm rounding down, but um I'm so excited and I missed you guys a lot. Really thrilled to be back talking to you.
It's been a crazy offseason in the Haber world. And man, pitchers and catchers report in like a week. So we're really getting into the thick of things here. And I am super excited to dive face first into these rankings. Now, full disclosure, Mike doesn't have his rankings, so he's going to be making them here on the show as Jason and I go along and talk about these particular players. Now, Jason, you mentioned it that the top portion of the third base rankings are rather safe and you know what you're getting. I have six of them. How many do you have?
Six, maybe seven, but
Yeah,
really it's six. Yeah.
it's still six with a seventh that might be on the cusp of
Yeah.
being a safe option. Number one overall, I'm willing to hear any arguments, but I have Jose Ramirez still, even despite the down year. 282 batting average, did not finish in the top five in runs, homers, or RBIs at the position, but was still 87 runs, 24 homers, 80 RBIs, and 28 steals with as many walks as there are strikeouts. So I'm willing to make him my number one third baseman. If you don't have him there, I'm willing to listen to the argument.
No, I do have him there. It was close. It was close between him and number two, but the lack of strikeouts and the speed, kind of, cut the dice for me. So yeah, it's Jose Ramirez. But maybe not for, this might be the last year, depending on what the Guardians do and what he does, and so this could be the last year of seeing him at the top.
Of the top six, he was the only one to crack more than five stolen bases last year. Mike Haber, how you feel about Jose Ramirez at number one? Is he still there for you?
Yeah, he's still number one. I'm just pretty underwhelmed. It's like he was a very clear cut. He was almost top five like overall last year. And
Mhm.
now I'm not even sure he goes in the first round. I mean, he might still just because of the scarcity and the steals, but he's definitely fallen a bit for me. And I don't, besides Josh Naylor, I'm not sure what else this Guardians lineup has to protect him.
That's
No,
about it,
nothing.
dude. That's
Yeah,
about
Nothing.
it.
Unless
So
Kyle
here's a
Manzardo
question I
has
have.
something, but
Say you're on the
yeah.
back end of the first round and Kyle Tucker's still there, and so is Jose Ramirez. Who are you taking, Mike?
oof.
I'm taking Kyle Tucker.
Okay. Jason?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I'm probably taking Tucker, but I would be thinking about it for a minute.
Okay. As we move to number two, this is where everything's wide open for me. I could hear any argument for who you have at number two, but Jason, who is it for you?
I have Austin Riley here. The power is just unmatched. The other guys kind of behind him are kind of slipping, and I think he's on the rise. So he's a guy that could be number one next year. The strikeouts I don't like, obviously, but you're going to take that when you get 40 bombs out of your third baseman. So he's only 27. There's still a lot left in that bat, I think. I hated that he's a Brave, but it's Austin Riley.
Very good on base percentage at 345 last year, 281 batting average. Yeah, the 23 and almost 24% strikeout rate starting to creep back up to what we had seen in years past. But when you're still getting 37, 97, and 117 runs scored in that lineup, it's really, really hard to bet against this guy. I also have him at number 2 because the only thing I'm splitting the hair at was the 28 steals from Jose Ramirez. It's that many more that you make the argument that that's more valuable than the 17 runs scored or I'm sorry, 17 RBIs or 30 runs scored. So at number 3, then, Jason, who do you have there?
Here I still have Manny Machado. And again, it's close. I'm just afraid that there may be a decline happening here. He's still only 31, but there's been some injuries. So maybe he might not play third base every day. Obviously 2023 was a rough year. He still hit 30 bombs with 91 RBIs on a surprisingly bad Padres team. So he can still hit it as long as he can get into the lineup every day.
Yeah, the 258 batting average is not what you'd like to see from him, and it wasn't helped out by a 268 BABIP and a 251 expected batting average. So it's not that he didn't earn it. I just think he was a little bit unlucky when it comes to some of those non-existent hits. 319 on base percentage is almost the worst we'll see in the top 6 here. But Mike, you're shaking your head. You're not liking Manny Machado this year?
Not really, no. I'm not. There are guys that I think that I would happily take ahead of him. Probably, maybe even 3 guys I would take ahead of him.
Interesting.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Interesting. I happen to also have Machado at 3. He played the least number of games, scored the least number of runs of these guys we talked about. But I think that's to be expected because of the lack of gameplay and that lineup getting worse. I think he's going to be a really nice bounce back candidate. I think you might get him on the discount this year because of this down year. And we've seen things like this before where, Manny Machado had a down year, so he falls to the 6th round, and then he puts up a 35 and 100 season just to remind you that he's Manny fucking Machado.
Right.
So, okay, Jason, you and I agree on the top 3. Who's number 4?
Here I have Rafael Devers still here. Again, close, and again, I can hear an argument for somebody else, but Devers safe. 33 homers, 100 RBIs, 271 with a 351 on base. He gets on base, doesn't strike out a ton. And I think the Red Sox are going to be okay this year. Like, they're not going to be great, but good enough. 34 doubles last year, 42 the year before. He's a machine, and he's still only 27. He's in the peak of his prime. So yeah, I'd be happy with Devers here at 4.
You guys know I love Tristan Casas this year, so if I love Tristan Casas, I got to love Rafi Devers too. We're right on the money here, Jason. I have Devers at 4 as well. I think he really earned the 271 batting average this past year. Might even be a tick better than this year than he was last year. 851 OPS, really nice and pretty there with a 351 on base percentage. I love it. He's as safe an option as you could possibly get. Mike, you would take him over Machado then?
Yeah, he would be my number 3 for sure.
Okay.
Yep.
And I assume Riley is your number 2 as well?
Riley is 2, yes.
Yeah, okay.
That's fair.
Yeah. So that brings us to number 5. Jason, there's a coin flip here on how we could finish this out. Do we agree on all 6?
It may be. I have Bregman here.
We do agree on all 6.
All right. Okay. Yeah, it's Bregman. Again, I think he's a safe option in that lineup, right in the heart of that lineup, in Houston with Tucker and Alvarez and Altuve. Like, yeah, he's in the best spot, possibly of anybody not named Austin Riley, as far as lineup protection goes. 25.98 last year with a 262 and a 363. Yeah, there's really nothing wrong in his game that I see.
I split the hair with Arenado because he had more walks than strikeouts and had a 12% strikeout rate. Was as right on the money with his 262 batting average, a 261 expected, so he earned that. 363 on base, that was best of these top 6 guys here. So, yeah, he's an on-base machine. He takes 5 for me because he doesn't quite have the power numbers that I think you'd expect of the guys in front of him, but he is better at the plate all around than Nolan Arenado at 6. Mike, let's round out your top 6 here. So, how are you seeing the rest of these guys?
So I agree with you guys. I have Bregman at 4.
Okay.
And then honestly, I was torn between Arenado and Machado.
That's fair.
And I'm using past tense because this is like literally in the past 15 seconds because I don't have
Right.
a list. But I think that, on the spot, if I'm putting myself in the draft right now, I guess I would edge towards Machado at 5 and Arenado at 6.
Arenado had a nice season, but it was just one of those nice seasons. You know what I mean? Like he struck out 16.5% of the time, only walked 41 times last year and 560 at bats, 26 homers, 93 RBIs, 71 runs scored, nice, easy 266 average, but only a 315 on base. He hasn't been the same since he came from Colorado. No. He's still been steady. You can plug him into third base every day and you will not complain about it all year, so long as you're not spending an incredibly high draft capital. And I think Ben got him in the second round last year. I think it's a little underwhelming for a second rounder when you look at this particular line. But if you're getting him 4th or 5th round this year, then yeah, I think you're all over this.
And it's funny how we're kind of comparing here Arenado to Machado, two guys who had down years on teams that really disappointed this past season, right? Like both the Cardinals and the Padres were not supposed to finish as poorly as they did. And this is kind of the heart of it, but both of these guys underperformed.
Absolutely. So to recap the top 6, Jason and I have it exactly the same. Jose Ramirez, Austin Riley, Manny Machado, Rafael Devers, Alex Bregman, Nolan Arenado. Bit different for Mr. Haber. Ramirez, Riley, if I remember correctly, it's Devers at 3, then Bregman, then Machado, and then Arenado at 6. So that brings us to number 7. And Jason, here's where I have Gunnar Henderson. Is this where you have him as well?
It is. And
7 for 7, baby.
Wow. I almost consider it like 6.5. like, because, because I feel like he could jump into that top tier. It's just, we've only seen really one season of it. It was a fantastic season. Show it to me again. And yeah, you probably move ahead of Arenado and maybe even Machado.
Yeah, bring down that 25.5% strikeout rate. He struck out 160 times and 560 at bats. Those numbers are a little ugly, but scored 100 runs, 28 homers, 82 RBIs, and 10 steals, which is really nice out of your third baseman. Hit a really honest 255, had a 3.25 on base percentage. Yeah, he's definitely, if not the next tier, he is the very bottom of that top tier. I'm not willing to put him up there yet. Like you just said, I want to see one more year of it. Mike, you seem surprised. Rookie of the year at 7. Is there a name that you're not hearing yet that you're surprised he's going in front of?
No, I am not surprised that he's 7 because I think I would have him there too. I'm surprised that you guys are tied are basically like 7 for 7 in your rankings because I feel like that's never happened.
Yeah,
I feel like that's kind of the end of it, though.
I'm positive that this is the end of it because the next guy I have, Jason hates. Jason can't stand this next guy. So let's not beat around the bush here. Who do you have at 8, Jason?
I have a real breakout candidate here. I'm going Josh Young.
Okay, I have him at 10.
Okay. Texas Rangers. I mean, like again, it was not even a full season. It's 122 games, but 23 homers, 70 RBIs. The strikeout rate is not good. The walk rate is not good, but he's a young player. He's gonna play every day in the middle of that lineup. Yeah, I'd be okay with him every day.
Yeah, 29.1% strikeout rate doesn't really strike fear into me. He also had a 340 BABIP with only a 260 at batting average. That's the type of numbers that could make you see a dude hit like 230 next year. And if that's the case, you'll count in the low walk total. I'm not thrilled with it, but I think he's a safe enough option that people will have him in their starting lineups this year. You're not going to kill your team by having Josh Young on it. I just think you might want to bring back expectations a little bit from last year. The team was so incredibly good around him, but I don't see him moving up in the lineup to take a spot away from a guy like Adolis Garcia or Nathaniel Lowe. So he's going to hit lower in the order. The numbers might be a little bit diminished compared to what you'd expect for this particular area. My number 8 is Alec Boehm. For much of this, yeah, exactly. I knew that was coming. 274 average, 15.5% strikeout rate, 20 homers, 97 RBIs, 74 runs scored, and 31 doubles. Those are some solid numbers from a guy who's going to hit probably about the same spot in the lineup as Josh Young will in Texas. I don't know. I think these guys are fairly comparable. Mike, you're going to split the hair for us here. Do either of these guys hit 8 for you, or is there a name you're still looking at?
I don't think I would rank either of them as 8 for me personally. I think I would lean Royce Lewis if we're gonna go for like the young guns coming up, like with Gunnar Henderson, Royce Lewis. I really like that group and that duo. I just feel like I'd be more confident with that. Like his numbers stretched over a full season last year were pretty incredible and would be top 3 in third base if he had a full season.
Sure.
So, but who knows? I mean, he's got to stay healthy and he's got to repeat as a second-year player. So that obviously there's concern there. But taking him 8th overall as a third baseman, I like the upside here.
Okay. So that'll bring us to number 9, Jason. Who you have at number 9?
Which is a perfect segue because that's where I have Royce Lewis.
Okay, you guys are up on this guy like you were up on Jonathan India. Jesus Christ, will you two chill out?
I mean, yes,
I didn't like Jonathan India.
The health is a thing, but when healthy, this kid raked, just absolutely raked. And, he's coming into spring training healthy, so there's no reason to think that, he's not coming in with an injury. He's coming in healthy. So right now, yeah, I'd be okay with him. The Twins aren't going to be great, but I think they're going to be okay enough. 15 homers and 52 RBIs in 58 games last year. Like Mike said, over 162. Those are pretty solid numbers.
Shame on you guys. Shame on you guys. There is a man still on this board that hit 36 home runs, drove in 105 RBIs last year, scored 95 runs, and walked 85 times. His name is Max Muncy. Put some respect on his name. That's who I have at 9. The Dodgers lineup only got better. Ohtani's there. Teoscar Hernandez is there now. This dude is going to hit in the middle of that lineup, probably 5th now, behind Will Smith and the 3 superstars in front of him. Yeah, he could absolutely put up this season again. I know he hit 212. His expected batting average was 235, and he had a terrible 221 BABIP. I don't hate it to tick up just a little bit more. Maybe we see 220 this year. And if he puts up those numbers, it's going to be a solid season for Max Muncy. Yet again, I love it. No?
I have him at 10.
All right. I'll take that. Mike?
So, there you go.
Mike doesn't like the Muncy.
I don't like Muncy, but I will take him at 10 as well.
Yeah. Okay. All right. My 10 is Josh Young, just for the record.
There you go. Yeah, I mean, look, the batting average scares me. The on base has been decreasing over the last couple seasons. He still hits it hard, but I don't know. He's going into the age 33 season, so I don't know. I'm shaking on Muncy, but I could see it.
Okay. I love the lineup. I love the idea that I'll be able to get 85 walks out of the guy. And you know what? He struck out fewer times than Gunnar Henderson and Austin Riley and a couple of guys we'll talk about in a little bit, but he was not top 5 at the position in strikeouts. Period. Like that. Yeah. That's all you need to know about this dude. Number 11 is where I've put my breakout candidate. It's Elly De La Cruz, and how dare you guys have Royce Lewis above him? Like, you saw this kid perform for almost twice as many games as Royce Lewis did. The guy stole 35 bases, 13 homers, 44 RBIs, 67 runs scored, and 15 doubles. Yeah, the batting average isn't there. Yeah, he struck out a fucking ton. He's a rookie. He's a rookie. And I don't know that we'll see it improve too much. I think this has the makings of being a guy who's going to strike out probably what Austin Riley was a couple of years ago, 24 to 28% of the time. And you're going to have to take the bad with the good, but you're going to get 30 steals, potentially 30 homers. I'll take the upside on that.
Yeah, I have him much further down because I don't know. The 35 steals is great. 235 with 300 on base, 89 OPS plus. Like like we talked in previous shows, the Reds are disgustingly filthy rich in young infield talent. So again, you have a bad April, there's no reason the Reds won't send them down. And this could be like Billy Hamilton, like a guy who just like steal bases, and that's it.
I hate that. I hate hearing that because I think he's got more power than Billy Hamilton ever could.
Well, maybe, but
I think he hit more home runs in this year in 98 games than Billy Hamilton did in his career.
But like, I mean, like, what is this guy? What if this guy is just like, like
Adalberto Mondesi?
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay, he steals a bunch of bases, but he can't get on base. He can't, he strikes out a ton. Like, that's not top 15 for me.
Okay. All right. Mike, how do you feel on Ellie De La Cruz? You got him further down, I would imagine.
Not as far down as Jason, I don't think. I have him and Spencer Steer pretty like neck and neck here. I do have Spencer Steer higher than De La Cruz.
Okay.
The 144 strikeouts and 388 at bats is the thing that terrifies me the most. Like,
yeah, it's gross.
Yeah, to draft someone in the third or fourth, fifth round with that potential of like 200 plus strikeouts is terrifying. So I don't know that I would reach for him, but I do think, if he's there and he falls, then I'm happy to take him and stash him as like that, the guy that can play third or short or wherever I need him. But
yeah,
I don't think I would take him up in the top 12.
So it's still early in the draft season, but Yahoo right now, his average draft pick is 38.
Yeah, that's third. That's the beginning of the third round for us.
Yeah, I couldn't do that.
Yeah. Somebody's going to pay a high price tag for what could be a league-winning lottery ticket, or it could be, in the minors by Mother's Day.
Yeah, exactly.
Jason, did we get your number 11?
No. So my number 11, we talked about him on a couple of shows already, is I have Justin Turner here.
Okay. I've got him a little bit further down, but I've got him ahead of Royce Lewis because he's done more proven stuff.
Fair. Sure.
Yeah, Justin Turner had a really nice season. Don't know that it's going to be the exact same in Toronto, but he is going to play every day. One would imagine he's going to be there every day DH and sometimes third baseman.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if IKF is going to hold that down all year.
Kevin Biggio.
Yeah. For me, that was the end of the second tier. Henderson, Bohm, Muncy, Young, and De La Cruz. Jason, is there anybody in that same vicinity you want to hit on? Maybe number 12?
No, I guess that would be that would be the end for me too.
Yeah. Okay, so who do you have at number 12?
12, I have a guy you do not like, but I have Jorge Polanco here. Yeah. We talked about him on second base. I like him with the Mariners. Fresh start. As long as he can stay healthy, I think there's something there.
I've got him at 22. It's I've got him lower than I have Royce Lewis at least, but like
if it makes you feel better, 22 is where I have Alec Bohm.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
So there you go.
Wow, that's terrible. That's terrible. All right. My number 12 is Spencer Steer. You hit on it just a minute ago, Mike. This guy earned at least being on the radar. I don't know what he is yet. I think we need another season to just see if this is a real thing or if he was just a byproduct of nobody being in that lineup and somebody had to hit. He also has incredible eligibility. He's going to have left field. I think it's second, third, and short.
First.
Maybe? First? Okay.
First, yeah.
Yeah, so he's got an incredible range of outcomes here. 37 doubles last year. I really like 23 homers, 86 RBIs, and 15 steals. So he's not a zero in any real counting stat. He hit 271, but had a 318 BABIP with a 250 expected batting average. Maybe that comes down this year. If he hits in the 250s, I don't think anybody's going to be disappointed. But he did have a really nice on base percentage because he walked 68 times. Pretty solid enough player. He leads off the third tier for me. So, Mike, let's catch you up here. Where are you at in your rankings? What's the last guy we talked about? Was it 10?
Yeah, so I had Muncy at 10. I have Spencer Steer and Ellie De La Cruz 11, 12. And I have a guy we haven't talked about yet, Ha-Seong Kim.
Yeah, I have him at 14. He was coming up.
I have him 13. Yep.
Yeah. All right, let's talk about 13. I have 13 Justin Turner. So, Jason, where are you at on 13?
13, I have Eugenio Suarez,
No.
old friend. But you know what? Look, again, you know what you're going to get with him. If he can give you 30, 35 bombs, yes, he's going to strike out a gazillion times. But in this group of guys, like, I can take the strikeouts to get the 30, 35 bombs. Now he's playing in Arizona. Like, I don't know. Do I like him? I like him. I don't love him, but like he's safe enough.
I have him at 19. He played all 162 last year and hit 22 bombs. So if you're counting on 30 to 35, I don't know if that's going to be more realistic now that he's in Arizona than it was in Seattle. I know Seattle's not exactly great for power, but we'll see what he does in Arizona. Did have 29 doubles, which is a promising sign. I don't know, man. 214 strikeouts at a 31% strikeout rate. No thanks. No thanks.
Maybe he'll find something. Maybe he fixes something in the desert.
I hope so. Hope so for his sake. All right, so 13, I had Justin Turner. We were just about to talk about Ha-Seong Kim. He's who I have at 14. He's going to be pretty eligible too, though. I wonder if this is the year where he loses a lot of that eligibility, having Bogarts and Machado there for a full year, and they're not moving him around the infield as much. They're just playing him at second. Mike, what do you like so much about Ha-Seong Kim?
Yeah, like this power speed combo kind of came out of nowhere, and I know when Tatis was injured, this guy was hitting leadoff, and then he was hitting so well that it was hard to pull him from the top of the lineup. And losing Soto, maybe the Padres do leave him at the top of the lineup, in which case I think that his run totals could go up, and he's still going to steal. Even if he regresses, he could still steal 25 bases, which a third baseman, like, I'll take that any day of the week.
Yeah.
Especially if you're going to hit 15 home runs.
Yeah.
So
and the on base percentage of 350, he walked 75 times. That was top 5 at the position. It's not anything to sneeze at. He's really, I think he could be the new leadoff hitter for the Padres this year. Jason, what do you think on this guy?
Yeah, I have him at 15, so I'm right there with you guys. I just I don't know how the Padres are going to perform this year. That just scares me a little bit, but I think he'll be fine. And roster resource does have him right now hitting leadoff, so that's a great position to be in. So yeah, I have him at 15. I'm good with him.
Okay. Did we get your 14?
My 14 is Steer.
Okay. So my 15 is Matt Chapman, who is currently unsigned in the major leagues. Did have 39 doubles last year. That paced the position. 17 homers, 54 RBIs. Had a red hot start to the season and then sort of cooled off after about May was over. Struck out 28.5% of the time, 240 average, 229 expected. So he's pretty much the safe bet that I kind of feel like is the last ship off the island where you've got something that you can feel safe about.
Yeah, I have him at 16. So
okay,
and I'm right there with you.
Okay, Mike, how you feel about Matt Chapman?
I think I'm a little lower just because I don't really. I think he did crash and burn last year, and because it was such a hot start, like his numbers should have been much higher to end the season, and so his crash must have been horrible. And now he's unsigned, and I'm not sure he really has a place somewhere yet. And there are guys like Nolan Gorman or Jake Berger like that I may take above Matt Chapman just for a little upside. But So I think I'm a little lower on him.
Well,
Yeah,
you just named a guy I don't even have, Jake Berger, so I got to put him in my rankings now.
I think it'll be interesting to see where he does sign, because like you said, there's not
Yeah.
a whole lot of teams left that make a whole lot of sense, like altogether. The Cubs stand out maybe as somebody, but like
They just traded for Michael Busch.
he'll be their first baseman.
Oh, okay. That's another guy
So
I have to add to this anyway. Busch.
yeah, I mean, Seattle has been a place that made sense all year long, but it hasn't
But with
happened.
the
It hasn't happened. I don't think it's going to happen.
Yeah, and if they sign him, then they're basically blocking Josh Rojas from any playing time whatsoever.
Right. So
So
yeah, his free agency is really curious.
yeah. All right, we move to number 16. This is where I have Royce Lewis right after Matt Chapman, because I feel like, all right, if Chapman's the last guy I'd feel comfortable about, like I know what I'm gonna get, then Royce Lewis is the next dude of like, ooh, I wonder what that's gonna be. Because it does sound like a lot of fun. I just don't know that I could put it above any of these guys who have a track record or at least one season of like, oh yeah, okay, we could see this happen. Jason, who do you have at 16?
16, I have Chapman.
Okay, so Mike, where are you at in this one? Who do you feel would be next for you?
I had such a connection with Nolan Gorman last year. You know, we had this really, really tight bond, and he carried me through the tough times and led me to a championship. So I'm gonna go Nolan Gorman here. I
All
see
right,
an
no,
upswing in the Cardinals.
Nolan Gorman. Now, is he going to be their everyday second baseman? Is he going to be their DH? Do we know yet?
Uh,
Does moving Tyler O'Neill open anything for them? Like,
My
I
guess
mean, if he's just DH, like great, but I think he's gonna play a lot at second.
okay,
so roster resource does have him as the second baseman.
okay. Where do they have
So
Brendan Donovan and left?
DH.
Oh, okay. All right. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's probably your split right there.
Yeah.
All right. Moving to number 17, I have Isaac Paredes. We've talked about him twice already. I'm still down on him this year. He's a pull heavy guy.
Yep.
Jason, who you have at 17?
That's exactly who I have.
Hey, we got another one. So that's 8 out of the 17 so far. Good job, buddy. Mike, we haven't gotten your thoughts on Isaac Paredes, a guy that I absolutely loved last year and not exactly in on. Are you seeing what I'm seeing?
I am. I didn't necessarily buy it last season when it was happening, and while it happened to me multiple times, and he hit home runs down my throat. But yeah, I'm not. I would think 17, 18 is pretty accurate. That's probably where I would put him as well.
So my question would be him or the guy I have at 18 in Heimer Candelario.
Ooh.
I have Candelario like pretty much right in this group also.
Yeah.
I
Jason
like
didn't
the
like him
change.
some Heimer Candelario.
I didn't put him on my list.
Oh,
No,
he's gonna be in Cincinnati. He might get
Yeah.
playing time. I feel like he just sort of fits here.
Yeah, I could see it, but I'm not going there.
Okay, who do you have at 18 then?
18, and I realized I dropped somebody. I did miss somebody, so I have to rethink this. But I think 18, I'm going to keep who I have, and that is we mentioned his name, Jake Berger. I tried to get him a little higher, but the Marlins are I think are going to be so bad. So like, I feel like all of his home runs are going to be solo shots. But the power is fun, and you know, if he can cut down a little bit on the strikeouts, although it wasn't terrible, I guess. Yeah, give me some Jake the Steak Burger.
Jake the Snake Burger at 18. Mike, where are you going for 18?
Man, I think I was gonna go probably Candelario there and then Jake Berger right after. So I'm right around the same spot as you guys are at here.
Yeah. I feel like Jake Berger will fit somewhere here in the next couple. I just feel like I have to put Eugenio Suarez next. He's 19 for me. You know, another guy that sort of fits in this mold, but he just barely cracks the top 20 for me.
Okay.
Jason, where you at on 19?
19 is where I'm going to put Nolan Gorman.
Okay. All right. And Mike for 19.
Man, I have some of these guys that you guys ranked pretty high up. So, um, I got my next two as Suarez and Chapman.
Okay. I can see
So,
that.
yeah,
can
that's
see
where I'm
that.
at 1920.
Yeah. 20's a guy we haven't talked about at all this season, and we haven't talked very much about him in the last couple of years. He hasn't exactly been what I think that the team he's on wanted him to be. I don't think he's a busted prospect. I just think he's sort of like less than what we expected. Brian Hayes deserves to at least have some sort of love here. 15 homers, 61 RBIs, 10 steals, a 270 batting average, strikes out less than 20% of the time, doesn't fucking walk. 31 doubles was really nice, though. He had more doubles than he did walks in 124 games. I think he deserves at least a little bit of love. O'Neal Cruz is going to be back. Brian Reynolds is still there. Jack Sawinski might be a person. Like, this team might win more games than, like, I don't know, nobody. But
Like,
they'll probably. I don't think they're. I don't think
70?
they're gonna.
Can they
Yeah,
win
but like,
70?
did they do that last year?
I don't know.
I mean, I don't think that they're better than the Cubs or the Cardinals or the Brewers or the Reds. So they're probably finishing last in the division. It's only a shame that the Cardinals did last year, or they probably would have.
They won 76 games last year.
Nice.
Okay.
Yeah, they were in first place for a while, weren't they?
Yeah, they were in first place after April. I think they won 20 games in April, so
Yeah.
they only won 50 games the rest of the season. 56 games the rest of the 5 months of the season.
Well,
there you go.
They won April. Go Pirates. You're wearing their jersey, so
I'm wearing. Yes, I am. I'm wearing a Clemente jersey tonight.
There you go.
Nice. All right. So who do you have at 20 if not Brian Hayes?
I have Brendan Donovan here, who I admittedly I did leave off. I didn't realize that he had enough second baseman, but he did. So I have Brendan Donovan here. We talked about him on a couple other shows. He plays everywhere, but the thing is, I don't know how much he's going to play. Like, because he's lefty, so they're going to platoon him a lot. So that's why I'm a little down on him. But if he can carve out some sort of everyday regular playing time, I can see it moving up.
Okay. I understand that thought process. I hope that he's going to be healthy enough this year. Only 95 games last year, but the 14.3% strikeout rate and an honest 284 batting average. If he can do that with decent amount of pop and some speed, yeah, I would. With all the versatility, he'd be a real asset to anybody's lineup. So, Mike, you had Chapman at 20, is what I saw, or what I heard.
Yes, I had Chapman at 20.
Okay, so that moves us to number 21. 21 is where I was finished right before we got started here. I had to sort of start plugging dudes in at the end to finish out my ranks. So if I'm missing someone along the way, I don't mind moving them around at this point. But I have number 21 as old friend Wilmer Flores.
Wow.
Yeah.
Hey, buddy.
Wilmer Flores, less than a 14% strikeout rate and 400 at bats, 23 homers, 60 RBIs, 22 doubles. Only 63 strikeouts to 41 walks, a 284 batting average. Good for a 355 on base. Look, he's good. It's just he plays in San Francisco and nobody pays attention to him.
Well, and he just doesn't. He can't play enough to like.
That's my argument. Yeah.
He played more games than Brian Hayes. He played more games than Brendan Donovan. He played more games than
because they were hurt.
Royce Lewis.
But they were hurt. He was healthy and he didn't crack 125 games or 130 games.
Yeah,
and he was healthy.
Because it's the Giants, and if you pair him with my number 24, then maybe you'll get 160 games out of them.
Yeah, the platooning makes me nervous there. I don't know. And as like a third, I guess when we're talking about our like 20 and up or 20 and down ranked third baseman, like none of these are going to be our actual starting third baseman in our lineup.
Yeah,
but
this is all backups. But if you have Wilmer Flores, who's what, first and third eligible, There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have Anthony Rendon. No, I'm just kidding. I will never draft
Oh
him ever
my
again.
good God.
I'm just kidding. I never will.
He made the top 30 for me, at least. He did not make
Did
my top
he?
25. He did not make my top 25.
He
He's
made
not
my
in
top
numbers.
60, my top 60 third baseman.
Okay. I have a different Angels third baseman in the top 25.
Rengifo?
Incorrect.
Oh.
Jason, what do you have at 21?
21 is where I have actually 21 is someone we haven't talked about. I have Michael Garcia here from the Royals.
I'm gonna put his name on this list. Okay.
Yeah, 123 games, and 23 stolen bases, no power, four homers, but like 20 doubles, 50 steals, 272 average, 323 on base, hit the ball hard, 51% hard hit rate, 91.5 mile per hour AEV. Third base and shortstop eligible, and the Royals are on an upswing. So like he's only 24. I feel like there could be something here. Look for Michael Garcia.
Michael Garcia of the Royals. Everybody's got to take a step forward on that team because that division is, in my opinion, it's opening up.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Minnesota hasn't done anything to address the loss of Sonny Gray. The White Sox look awful. The Tigers look improved, but are they there yet? Cleveland isn't a juggernaut. So yeah, they have the opportunity to take this division if they all take a step forward, but nobody's really going to believe that they will.
Right.
My number 22 is Jorge Polanco. Jason, where are you at on 22?
This is where I have Ellie De La Cruz.
Interesting.
Ooh.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like he's gonna be one of those super flashy guys that everybody's gonna fall in love with, and he's just gonna fall flat on his face. I prove me wrong. I'd be happy to be wrong, but I don't know. I'm worried about I think he's gonna be focused too much on looking cool and making the flashy plays than getting on base.
Okay. Okay. Mike, where are you at in the 21-22 area? Who are you looking at?
I've got Cabrian Hayes there.
Okay.
And then I mentioned Luis Rengifo because I kind of like him. But he would need to play. He would need to play more. And I mean, with the loss of Ohtani, though, I think the Angels will have more at bats available. And because Rengifo is so eligible everywhere, I think that he'll probably be in the lineup every day, especially with DH now kind of wide open in Los Angeles.
I'm pretty sure he's going to be their starting second baseman this year.
Okay.
But I mean, they have other guys that are pretty versatile there as well, which explains why he's got so much eligibility. I do like him. He's going to hit at the top of the order. He's going to hit right in front of Mike Trout, apparently. So that is that's a good one. I like it. My number 23 is apparently the guy who's going to hit right behind Mike Trout. Yo, Brandon Drury hit 26 home runs last year. Like, he drove in 83 in 125 games.
He's third base eligible?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I would probably move him up then above some of these other guys.
Like, I don't necessarily believe it. He didn't walk very much. He struck out 26.5% of the time. So, like, it's pretty much league average. But he's going to hit behind Mike Trout. If Mike Trout's healthy, then they've got to pitch to somebody, and apparently it's going to be this guy. Okay, I'll take it. I don't believe it, but he could be a nice backup for me.
Yeah.
Jason, who do you have at 23?
It doesn't look like he played third base in 2023.
Really?
Nope, he did not. First and second.
Guy, then.
I was going to say, like, how did I miss this man?
All right, well then fuck that guy. He's out of my lineup. All right, bye, number 23. Drury goes away. Am I going to replace him with Josh Donaldson?
No, ew.
Please
All right,
don't.
so my new number 23 is the guy I mentioned briefly at 21. How about JD Davis, who hit 18 home runs last year? You pair him and Wilmer Flores together, you might get a whole third baseman.
You got to spend 2 draft picks on a third baseman.
Well, conceivably, one of them's your backup. So
yeah.
Jason, what do you have at 23?
23, I have Alec Bohm here. Maybe I'm wrong. I mean, 20 homers. Yeah, he had 13 the year before, 7 the year before that. maybe he's getting better. I don't know. I haven't seen enough to really believe in him yet.
Hitters ballpark, hitters lineup. But yeah, you're right. The StatCast doesn't exactly measure up. 5.8% barrel percentage, only a 41% hard hit percentage, and an 89 average exit velocity. It's lower than quite a few dudes that we've talked about. You know, one of them most loudly being Matt Chapman, who had quite an interesting StatCast page, and yet it didn't equate to like a lot of home runs or a lot of production because it was just a lot of loud outs.
Yeah.
All right. So that moves us to number 24. I have Brendan Donovan there. He's still third base eligible, right?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Yes, he is.
All right. Donovan stays there. We talked about him already. Jason, what do you have at 24?
I have Brian Hayes here.
Okay. Mike?
I need to prove it.
Yeah. Mike, how you feeling? Where are you at?
I'm a little lost. Because I don't think I put Jorge Polanco in my list. But yeah, I'm not really that high on him, so I feel
Neither am
like
I.
that's a good spot for him for me around 24. So
All right.
All right. I will let you guys round it out for me because I have a group here and I must be missing somebody. You know what? I'm probably just going to put Jake Berger here and call it a day because my choice is like LeMahieu, Rendon, Moncada, McMahon. Ew, I don't like any of those.
yeah, I don't like any of those either.
Like 25 is where I ended it, and I ended it with Ryan McMahon. Look, at 25, this is like who gives a crap anymore. But
23 homers was nice.
Right,
Colorado
so
is nice.
yeah, so like if he can do something to just give put a step forward as he goes into age 29, like there isn't a reason. He plays every fucking day. He's always in the lineup. Like, and I do think that they're going to be better. I don't think they're going to be good, but I think they're going to be better than they've been. So give me 30 home runs and I'll be happy. I'll be a very happy guy.
Okay. 30 homers for a happy Jason Ashby out of Ryan McMahon.
Yeah.
Mike, let's finish out with your number 25.
You know what? Let's throw John Birdie on this list.
Woo!
Throw him in there. Let's do it. He helped me out last year too when my third base vacancy would just was there for the entire season. So John Birdie, why not?
All right. Let's talk sleepers, breakouts, and busts. Jason, let's start with you on the sleeper.
I'm going Jordan Westburg here from the Orioles. I think the trade of Joey Ortiz going to Milwaukee opens up more of a lineup spot for him. If he can perform every day. We only saw 68 games from him last year, and that's been it for his career. So like not a lot to go off of, but he's due to hit in the bottom of the order, but it's the Orioles. So like we know how they do with these prospects. So let's see what this kid can do.
My sleeper is going to be that combination of Flores and JD Davis. I think if you can tap into whatever the Giants are doing at third base, you're going to get a decent player. Both of these guys have plenty of pop. The strikeout rate is decent on both of them. Walk rate is really nice. On base percentage works. I think if you can tap into that as a backup option, you're going to be fairly surprised at how well these two could do. So give me Wilmer Flores as like my official sleeper, but the combination of those two should really work out. Mike, you got a sleeper candidate for us?
Sure. Let's throw this guy, I can't even pronounce his name, but Nuelve Marte on the Reds.
Great pick.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like the way this kid looks. I like the way he looked last year. My only concern is obviously his playing time, and same thing you said for De La Cruz, I think holds true for Marte. Like, wouldn't be shocked to see him in the minors for a decent chunk of time, but he proved at the major league level last year that he can contribute at a high level.
This was the Luis Castillo piece that they got from the Mariners, so they're certainly going to be giving this kid ample playing time when he's ready and when they figure out who the hell is going to play where.
Yeah.
Jason, let's kick off the breakouts. Who do you have for a breakout?
I'm lumping Josh Young and Royce Lewis together because I think both of them are. I had them back to back in my rankings, and I think both of them they're both 25. Both of them can have a huge year. If Royce Lewis can, if both of them can stay healthy, it is the key thing. But I like both of these kids as breakout candidates for third base.
Okay. I love Ellie De La Cruz, and I don't need to tell you why, because he is flashy and fun to watch. And if he hits 30 homers and steals 30 bases, yeah, that's a win no matter what he hits. Like he could hit 230 and strike out 180 times. He goes 30-30, you're still paying that off.
Yeah.
Yeah. If he goes 30-30, that's great. I don't know that's happening.
Okay. Mike, what do you got for a breakout?
Is it fair to say that the rookie of the year is a breakout candidate? Can I say that?
I mean, if you think he's going to be like first or second round talent after this year,
then then we're gonna go Gunnar Henderson here.
Okay.
Because I think after this year he's at least in the top 5 of third basemen and dethroning some of these guys that have been there for years.
Okay. So you're really in on Gunnar this year.
He is currently, his average draft pick right now is 36.5.
That's also third round.
Yeah.
That may be too high, but
but wait a minute.
I can argue it.
Look this up for me. What is Manny Machado's average draft pick?
Let's take a look. $53.6.
If you think he's going in the 5th round this year, you're crazy.
Yeah.
There's no way Machado's falling to the 5th round of the Bigs.
No.
It's just not happening. So
not a chance.
Yeah. All right, who's your bust, Jason?
I think we know at this point it's gonna be Ellie De La Cruz. And I've stated my case. I'll be the first to admit if he goes 30-30, yes, he's good and I'm wrong, but show it to me.
Okay. For much of the same reason, I'm going to say Nolan Arenado. His age might be starting to show, and that team was very disappointing last year. I think it might be an addition from subtraction by getting rid of Tyler O'Neill, but I don't think that affects guys like Arenado or Paul Goldschmidt. You know what I mean? Like, I think these guys are who they are, and we're just going to see them slowly depreciate as time goes on. So give me Nolan Arenado to take another step back this year. Mike?
I'm gonna go Josh Young. I know you guys are high on him, or higher than me. I had him for a portion last year as well. And I think the power kind of fell off. The wheels came off a bit the second half of the season. And I wouldn't be surprised if as the Rangers regress, that he regresses as well. Especially, you mentioned before that he's not going to be a fixture at the top of the lineup. In fact, he'll probably be a fixture in the bottom third of the lineup.
Right now, Roster Resource has him hitting 5th.
Okay. Wow. Over ahead of who?
I think it was over Nathaniel Lowe.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, they have, so it's Semyon Garcia, Evan Carter, Josh Young, Nathaniel Lowe, Jonah Heim, and then the rest.
I don't know though. Jonah Heim hit above him. Nathaniel Lowe hit above him all last year. So, but we'll see.
Yeah, I know he was hitting like 8th in the World Series. I can remember that distinctly.
Yes.
All right. Comeback player at this position, Jason Ashby.
I'm gonna go Brian Hayes. You mentioned him. I don't see a reason why, if we can get a full season from him, even if it's, so last year he hit 15 and stole 10. So if you can go 20-15, like that's an improvement. If give me a full season, let's see what you can do.
Mike, do you have one? Because I'm scratching my brain here and not wanting to take Anthony Rendon for the 3rd year in a row.
I'm gonna take him. Only because I am not going anywhere near this dude. So I know he's going to have a bounce back this year.
No chance he's on Mike Haber's team at all.
Nope.
25th round, Mr. Irrelevant, last pick. You're still not taking Anthony Rendon for the memes.
I mean, if no one else has taken him and he's dangling there at the 25th, sure, I'll grab him.
All right, so I got to take him in the 24th. That's what I know.
I need someone in my IL spot, right? So
his average pick is 240.
Yeah, that's more like it. That's more like it. He might go 400 in our draft. Are you kidding me? Guys, thank you both so much for being here. Mike Haber, thank you so much for being back, and congratulations on both the wedding and the championship and the honeymoon that is upcoming. Thank you for being here, my friend.
Yes, thank you so much for welcoming me back with open arms after it's been a minute. But again, thrilled to be talking baseball with you guys, and we're inching closer and closer. I'm so excited.
Hell yeah. Jason Ashby, just 1 week until pitchers and catchers, man. The Super Bowl is over. We're fucking here.
Yes, football is a thing in the past. Baseball is a thing in the present, and it is great. I am excited. We have a few more of these rankings to do. Draft is going to be right around the corner. Let's get going, boys.
Shortstop is up next. Thank you guys so much for watching and listening. And remember, because we are going to make another announcement for Bigs Conclave 2024 coming up here very, very soon. Get ready and get your tickets when they go on sale. I think they already are once we announce it. Anyway, until next time, guys, it's been real, it's been fun, and it is always real fun in the Bigs. We'll see you guys next time.